We should be live right now, starting official. Hello, everyone. It's your boy Neo. You guys know me. I gotta set up these platforms real quick. Specifically, waiting for Facebook so I can hit go live. As you can see, I'm waiting for that button. There we go. So I'm good to go. Facebook live, Periscope live, Twitch live, everything live. I love it. I love it. Huh? Tonight's topic: drive, the progress killer. Hey Google, turn off my desk. I said, hey Google. Go to bed, boy. I hate me say that to him every night. Welcome back. Heading out the front door today. Drive, the process blocker. This is what got me interested in that. I was sitting here thinking to myself, my drive is what I owe everything to. I bust my ass. I work harder than anyone else I know. People say, oh, he retired. He sits at home. No, I work harder than you. I guarantee I work more hours than you. And controlling one's thoughts is the hardest occupation a man can have, according to both science and religion. So I don't care if you're laying carpet or doing construction. Stress, mental stuff, hits you harder. It beats you down. Takes years off your life. There's no physical job that can compete with the mental torture that could drive someone to commit suicide. Although some jobs could drive somebody to commit suicide, I guess. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, that drive right there, when you're not at where you think you should be, carefully word this, when you're not at where you think you should be, and you've put invested a lot of your energy into it, whether it just be through time or effort, regardless. The drive gets stronger. The drive gets stronger, you start trying new things, and the next thing you know, it becomes resentment. Come on now, I should have been there by now. I should have been done that. And that's something that I think we all deal with to a degree, except for the people who are genuinely happy with where they are living and how their day-to-day goes by. If you wake up happy because you know what's going to happen today, since you're retired, I know ain't nobody really working. If you are, you're working from home, doing it in your spare time because you're chilling with your family. You're in love with life that much. But that's what I'm talking about. If you retired and you wake up and you know your day is clear, you know what's on your schedule, and you're happy and you're content, yes, cool. But for the rest of the 7.3 billion out of the 7.4 billion or whatever, however many thing it is, for the rest of us, we got drives, ambitions, goals, angles. I retired when I was 28, I think. And everybody say, oh, now you can sit on your ass the rest of your life. What? I mean, I do sit on my ass a lot. I be in chill mode. But that's just because of all these daggone injuries. But no, my mind still has ambitions. I still got ideas. I still got inventions. All this stuff. So I'm not just going to sit back. That's drive. And my drive is what I do every day. I used to go to work and be a cop for 10 hours a day. Now I go to work and analyze the way we think, figure out what things like drive are doing to us. Why is drive a progress killer? Drive is what makes us push harder. Drive is what got us to everywhere we've been to in life. How is it a progress killer? Everything that's been invented, everything that's happened, drive. How can it be a progress blocker? Did I say killer in the description? I don't know. I meant to say blocker, because it doesn't kill progress, obviously. But here's the thing. Wanting manifests more wanting. And when drive is pushing you towards something, it's because you want it. It's because you don't have it. Deep down inside, you know you don't have it. And that manifests more of you not having it. So that drive, that is pushing you there. And yeah, you got there in 2 years, 4 years, 16 months. however long, but guess what? It could have been faster. It was blocked by your ego saying, I should have been there by now. If you already won the lottery last week and got your money, is there any doubt in your chest when you say, I won the lottery? Is there anything saying I should have been there by now? No. And that's what I'm talking about. It really is blocking the purest of pure energy that you can give off, which is being in a line with what you want and the signal you're sending out. Because if you want something deep down inside and the signal you're sending out is something else, you're off balance. Negative stuff will happen. I guarantee it. That's why I say follow your gut. You need to be in a line with what you want. Some people say they want fame and glory and success, and deep down inside, no, they just want the money part of it. They just want to sit on an island somewhere with their family members. I'll fly in who I want to see this week. You know, to each his own. But it really got me when I sat there and I thought about it. I said, damn, the drive that is pushing me to get my island, to be able to buy it cash, that drive is the same drive that keeps, what do I call it, whispering? Because it's not a whisper in my ear, like the normal ideas I get. It's coming through my chest, kind of kicking me in my back and going through my chest. I'm 8 years into this. I'm gonna be real. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to keep it real with you because I want you to follow me on this journey and be with me and be knowing what I'm thinking so that, you know, you can truly follow me on this journey. When people tell me stories, I always ask a lot of questions. And they're like, dang, you know, I get to the point where like, damn, let me get to the story. Who cares what the weather was? I want to be there. I want to be there while you're telling it. And I want to live through it. I want to get deep into it. I want to experience what you experienced it. Live vicariously through you. Just for that incident. Because you felt it important enough to tell me. Whether it be funny, sad, don't bring me no sad, don't bring me no negativity. But that's what I try to do. And I'm going to tell you straight up. I've been doing this since 2008. Now, I had a website since 2008. I didn't sell anything. I didn't start doing counsel for money until Neo-Positivity. This Facebook started, not last December, but the December before that. So this December, it'll be 2 years this Facebook opened. I started it in that December. By August, I had my own talk show. By October, I had 2. By November, I had 5. By January, I was in Los Angeles chill mode. Taking pictures at the Oprah Winfrey Network. And the mountains. Because let me tell you something. Oprah Winfrey Network is beautiful. It's a beautiful thought and a beautiful notion. But the mountains changed my life. Oprah's Winfrey Network and their connections and the money and the hookups and, you know, putting me in that direction is a life changer too. But all I'm going to do when I get all that money and I get in that situation is go right back to that mountain I was at. And sit on that bitch, sending y'all pictures. Meditating. Just put the camera up, hit record and just meditate for a half an hour. All this I'm doing is to get there and do that. Now, you know, I'm a party, you know, I'm a, you know, drive fast cars and I'm going to do all the things, you know, that this life has to offer. I only got one shot at this life as far as I know. And guess what? I'm going to go to the fullest. Do I believe in reincarnation? I actually think that is the most logical thing. But it is that we are all reincarnated. God, you know? I always picture like when we die, we come up from a fishbowl. Our head is under the water and we come up and we're dripping and we look around and we see infinite versions of us with their heads in fishbowls. Each of them a different person. but each of them us. They're dressed in the same exact clothing as us. We realize and remember who we are and how we gave ourselves amnesia to live this dream. And then we dip our head back in and start as someone else purely for entertainment. You got to think about it. At once, nothing existed. That's the quantum field, science calls it. Theologians call it God. They have the same definition from the source from which all created. The source from which everything was created from was born from and dies back to the realm of non-existence that can't be described because there's nothing there to describe. That duality, the first form of duality, existence, things that exist versus things that don't exist. What came with it immediately after were good and bad, the things you like about the things that exist, the things you like about the things that don't exist. You know, then everything else trickled down underneath that. But the good and evil, the white versus black, that first form of duality, it's like a plague, and we've been playing on it ever since. Everything has duality, including drive being the leading force that pushes us and takes us to where we want to go. Without drive, you don't even get nowhere. That was everything in my voice just now was straight up drive. The number one force that gets me up in the morning, gets me going, is making this world better for my kids. But that same drive is the same thing that has held me back on every single goal I've used it for. I just saw a shooting star. Just saw a shooting star. That's 5 sessions in a row. Ooh, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. You know why? Though y'all didn't see that. Though y'all didn't see, you can check the astrology reports right there, right now on the East Coast in New Jersey. Right there, that's what happened. Check the stats, check the numbers, but it doesn't matter. I've been able to do that 5 times in a row, which means I'll be able to do it 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When y'all here, when the camera's here, when everyone's here. And then when I'm talking and you see that star, you can put that in your confirmation box that this man is serious. This man has visualized his whole life. High school football, I used to go out to the field and just sit there and stare at it. One day, my boy Mitch Davis came outside. Look him up on Facebook, running back. He came outside and he said, man, why you always come out here before the game and just sit here? And I'm talking about hours before. Stands, nobody was even, the concession stand wasn't even set up. And he always asked me, he came out the one time and asked me, hey man, what you be doing out here? And I said, I'm visualizing. Running 10-yard outs, 15-yard outs, whatever. Catching the ball, scoring touchdowns. And I gotta be honest, it kind of didn't work then, and I analyzed that before, because I didn't have an all-star time when I was playing with Mitch. Mitch was the star, he was the running back. He was like 6'10", 6'13", 250 pounds of pure muscle. He was just running everybody over. So that's all we did was run the ball. But I'm pretty sure I wasn't believing it. It's one thing to run those things, but to believe that that's going to happen, I didn't believe that was going to happen. Think about it. We go through practice, and we don't even practice throwing the ball. Only when we in lineups and one-on-one drills do we get the ball. When we run plays in practice, we didn't throw the ball. Once or twice a practice. So what are the chances I'm going to get in the game and have 7 catches for 213 yards? I mean, I try to go back and analyze stuff like that because that's my past, and that's what we have to do. You know, we have to sit back and we have to learn from it. But anyway, got a little off topic. Yeah, I used to stand out there and visualize, and it's funny because we sat out there and we ran option drills because we ran the option a lot. And I was playing quarterback, of course. While we were running drills, I was a receiver on the field. But yeah, what's up, Mitch? Big shout out, Mitch Davis. I don't know if you remember that. But I've always been visualizing, okay? I've always, my first job at McDonald's, I said, working ain't for me. I'm going to be done with this thing by the time I'm 30. I said it. I said it, my first job at McDonald's. And then I saw the movie The Secret. I saw the movie The Secret. The guy said to me, he said to me, I was the only one watching it. So yeah, he said it to me. Visualize either a butterfly or a feather. Now, I always see butterflies in my yard, but I rarely see feathers. When I went outside, there was this huge feather, like a foot long, dangling ever so gently in my windshield wiper. Nobody was even home when I watched the movie. Nobody knew I was watching. Nobody even knew I bought the damn thing. And that's when I said, holy crap, I just manipulated the flow of energy around me. I didn't say that exactly. That phrase came up this year. But I said, yo, I just changed stuff. I just did some kind of magic. This is crazy. I just created, like, and I started thinking about all the things I've created in my life. And I said, well, wait a minute, if I can get a butterfly, if I can get a feather, I can get anything. So I went hard. I went for the biggest thing you could possibly go for, retirement. I don't have to tell you what happened after that. I don't even have to tell you that it was shortly after that. Not shortly, like 2 days later. But, you know, it did take some time. Almost 2 years. But it was the overall watering seed. I had been watering that seed since my first day at work when I said, I'm up till I'm 30. That's it. I'm working up till I'm 30. At this time, I was creeping up on that age. And that's just the beginning. That was in 2008. That is just the beginning. Since then, you won't believe the things that I've manifested in my life, most of which did not come out of my pocket for. There's a drone and an airplane. Big airplane, $249. I wanted it. I wanted the make, model, color. I wanted the exact one. And I BS you not, 8 days later, I think it was, it showed up on my doorstep. It's a gift. I didn't announce it on Facebook. Nobody's into the hobby that lives around me, so I wasn't talking about it. But that's, you know, that's besides the point. This shit works. I say all that to say this shit works. And let me tell you something. It's not just that it works. Because when you say it works, that kind of implies that, you know, at one point it won't. No, I'm not going to say this shit works. I'm going to say this is how it is. These are the rules. Like it or not, you're a part of this system. You are made of this said same energy. These are the rules of this game. You know, I'm going to say something I haven't said. I've been wanting to say it so much, but I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it. Because there's two people that come to mind, two females, that are very upset with me, and have been upset with me for years. Because them or someone they know had been abused by their husband, and they said, he's trying to tell you that it was your fault? You manifested that shit? They were true fans of Thoughts Become Things until that ugly conversation came up. And I say it to them like I say it to you now. When little Timmy wakes up, he's worried about getting bullied. On his way to his bus stop, he's thinking maybe I can cut down this hallway on the bus. He knows he's going to get it before the end of the day. And then when he's getting his ass whipped in school, he's wondering why. Messed up part about this story is little Timmy is a real person from Camden. Also, while little Timmy's at school worried about his bully, he's worried about his drug dealer father beating the shit out of his #1 customer, his crackhead mom. Worried about it all day long, watering the shit out of that seed. Oh, Neo's blaming it on Billy. I'm blaming it on life. Billy did what he was supposed to do in that situation, which was worry. Self-preservation. I don't want that to happen again. How can I avoid it? I can't. I'm 10 years old. Lil Timmy did what he was supposed to do. So did his mom. Worry. All day she knew that ass whooping was coming. And she watered the hell out of that seed. I got this part in this song I made. Damn, I'm trying to think of it. I said, and as much as you sit here and don't want to admit it, your mind took it there all day and you fucking permit it. Thoughts like transcripts being printed and submitted. Damn, I should have done this by now, but I didn't. Why'd you do that to give me all that pain? Ooh, they talking about me, I'm so vain. Self-sabotage, being tortured by our brains. Look at it like this, and we the ones to blame. Positive over negative all day. That shit's easy to say, but when your mind's in your way, your cell phone, kid, spouse, tripping all at the house. Positive thoughts, being quiet as a mouse. Yeah, that's it. Yo, one day I just wanted to just throw some stuff out there. I was like, yeah, I want to get lyrical. A long time ago, me and my sister, Theda, we went to the NSYNC concert. And at the Tweeter Center, it was so cool. We had the hookup. We were between the front row and the gate and the security guard and the stage. We were next to the security guards. And they were looking at us like gods because, you know, the cops escorted us in there. So it was like, yeah, it was really cool experience. But seeing Justin Timberlake on stage, not in sync, because he always stood out to me. I have an eye when it comes to music. DMX, 50 Cent, Eminem. When I heard him first song, I knew. Right now, Bad Bunny, first song I heard of his, is it Acostumbre? Jame, I don't know. But anyway, I called Bad Bunny. But yeah, when I first saw him on stage, I was watching him. I said, yo, I could get into that. You know? The crowd, all that was like sugar on top of, it was the frosting on top of the cake. And a thick layer of frosting at that. But nonetheless, just frosting. The meat and grits, the pound cake underneath that's holding the frosting up, giving it shape, giving it life, making it cake as opposed to just a big pile of mush. That's what I could see in his eyes. He was having fun, legitimately loving what he was doing at that moment. And I really caught a glimpse because he walked all the way over to the stage. It was me, my sister, and Wendy. He walked all the way over to the stage. He pointed at my sister and winked his eye or whatever. You know how they do when they walk over and point at somebody. It's, you know what I mean? So it was cool. It was real, man. The whole experience was crazy. Wish we had videos back then. But yeah, you know, ever since that day, and that was maybe right after I graduated high school, I think so. Because that's when we knew Wendy. But, yeah, that led me to, I was like, you know what? Bump it. Let's do it. After I wrote that poem, and it went exceptionally well, like, I'm sorry, that's the best poem I've ever heard in my life. Everybody has their entitled to their own opinion. I know I'm a little biased because I'm in it, but trust me, I'm good at removing myself from situations. And I think I'm very good at that because the situation I'm in life right now, I'm detached from that. I told you, I feel like a 25-year-old guy, just barely making it in Camden. I am neither of those. Like none of those. Far from it. However, if I could go back to being my 25-year-old version of me in Camden, I'd beast the hell out of that life. Knowing what I know now, I'll start there. I can get out of Camden quick. I don't see how these other cats can't do it. I mean, if you got a record, that's one thing. I got you. I feel you on that. But if you don't got a record and you just can't get out of Camden because you just say you can't get out of Camden, nah, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself. You know? If I was to give you $1 million right now, your best idea, run with it. if you can make that work, then take that idea and reverse it. Start with $0 and see what it would take to get there. I don't know, come up with something. Just don't sit there on the sofa smoking weed, playing video games all day, looking at the next Jordans online, talking about I can't get a job. I know too many people do that shit. And I call them on it. I call them on it real quick. Nah, no. Family event, I don't care, I'm calling you on it. You ain't gonna sit up here and have everybody feeling sorry for you. Nah. I know a spot hiring right there. And I texted you the paper. That's what I'm saying, man. It's life. Life is funny, man. It's the way it comes at you. And your goal is one simple thing. Stay positive in the face of the negative. Don't go on a rant like I just did for 5 minutes. Watering some negative ass seeds. Watch. I'm going to see somebody tomorrow and they're going to piss me off because they're going to talk about how they can't get a job. I know people with degrees that sit at home. People with degrees from Rowan University. Rowan, I know it's Rowan, but it's a university. How you got a degree from that? You sitting at home on your mom's sofa. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop playing. That's just my personal opinion. That's lack of drive. That person is content with the situation that they're in, just like a retired person. I'm cool with where I'm at. The problem is with a retired person that's 60 years into their life and they've seen everything and they're at that phase where it's time to be quiet and sit back and look at nature and chill. That's why a lot of older people seem to meditate, because they've seen it all, they've done it all except this. The part where they just appreciate what's around them. And when's a better time to do that? When your days are running short, or they're numbered, or you're counting down instead up. You know what I mean? But if you're a young person and you're at that stagnant, I'm cool, I'm happy with being here, no, try harder, man. I'm just saying, be a better person than you currently want to be today. And then do the same thing tomorrow. And make actions and do things. And I promise you, if you just do that for 3 days, something will initiate a change. I'm not saying something's going to change. People want to be millionaires. They think they're going to play the lottery and win because they did a couple of these things and they're asking me, Neil, it didn't work. I didn't win the lottery. No. What I mean by change is, I tell people all the time, if you want someone to compliment you, I'm trying to phrase it now better for you guys. If you want someone to compliment you, you first have to compliment yourself. But this is how you're going to do it. When you pass by the mirror, after you get out the bathroom, don't be nasty, wash your hands, and while you're there, look in the damn mirror and say, damn, I look good. Don't say I'm sexy. Too much stuff involved. If you're not happy with your body, your ego's going to kick in immediately and start kicking your back in. Or you could lose 5 pounds, you could do that, you could be a little bit less thin. Stay away from the word sexy. Listen, this is what I do. I tweak each and every word until it feels right. Okay? Damn, I look good. That's real kind of, it's medium streamline, where the ego doesn't want to say nothing, unless you truly believe that you're butt ugly, smugly, fugly. And in that case, you got some work to do. I know I just named probably 70% of the female population. But just understand this. We are our own worst critics. And one thing I learned from watching some of these shows, specifically the Jersey Shore, from these guys standing in the mirror and saying how good they look. Okay? Now, I can see in someone's eyes when they're lying. I'm trained to do this shit. That I'm trained for. In the classes and everything. Didn't even have to pay for it. Anyway, and I could see it in all their eyes, except Paulie D. But that's just because he was so happy about the situation, he didn't give a... You know what I mean? But I could see it in Vinny, I could see it in Mike, I could see it in Ronnie. They saw their imperfections. They saw that that was a lie slightly. Less than 1% that was a lie. But the cameras are on, smile, proud. You auditioned, you practiced this 100 times when they first told you you were getting the show. But what I notice is they're just as insecure as, not just as insecure as us, they're just as insecure as us in the fact that they are part of this club with us. Yes, you are at a level where it does not bother you as much as it does me. But we make no mistake, we are in the same room together. You're not even closer to the door, because the door is a matter of perspective. You're just closer to one side of that room than I am. Doesn't make you no better. Doesn't make you no worse. It just makes us both victim of this system. This duality system where you have to see God as both one with you, as in no separation, and you have to be able to talk to them like they're another person standing in front of you. Things you can't explain. Things that are weird, like the fact that drive, the force that God, what is it, God begets all creation or whatever it's called. Well, after God comes drive. Someone had the willpower to click two rocks together and make a spark. Even further, to even get that fire, someone had the willpower to even stand up to get out of bed. That same drive is simultaneously one of our biggest tests ever. Throw that in with the test of time, because I can tell you no all day long and you can still have hope and you can still have faith. But if I tell you no for a couple years, that's when that faith fades. And fast. Time is and put together, they're a dangerous adversary. A dangerous adversary for us in this game of life. Can you stay positive in the face of the negative? Controlling one's thoughts is the hardest occupation a man can have, according to both science and religion. And these are the rules. And these are the rules. And this ain't stuff that someone, I think this isn't stuff that someone who has a 40-hour-a-week job has the time to put into. I couldn't. I'm one of the hardest working people that I know, hands down. And I don't think I could do both. This takes a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. And years. Yeah, well, it took me years. But that's the reason why I did the website. Because it doesn't have to take you that long. You can get through it as quick as you want. My manifestation period has went from a month to a week. Using the expect, using the clicker, using my anchor. Funny, update on the selfie stick. It's funny, people will be like, what is that? Because I tell you, it's so big and bulky, all kind of stuff is going on. There's a little remote on it. And above that, I got a thing attached to it, a pedometer. What did this guy call it? Anyway, it's a counter. And when they ask me that, I say it's my scepter. And they're like, oh, okay. They just stop for a second, like, what? Scepter? And I say, nah, I'm just playing. It's a selfie stick, but I use it as an anchor. And they're like, well, what the hell's an anchor? Well, something to keep you grounded, you know? I'm saying this for the first time now because I just thought of it. I wish I had thought of this before, but my brain is kind of like a boat. And the waves, the energy waves that are flowing around me, being caused by things around me. You ever had somebody in the pool jumping up and down, all of a sudden it looks like a Jaws movie? The energy flowing around me has me dipping and twisting and turning, and I'm drifting in one direction, but that could change. Those are my thoughts, everywhere, going all over the place. The crown, the tippy point of each and every little lump that you see pop up when the water's choppy, each of them's like a new thought. Twisting and pulling my boat in different directions. Now I'm going to throw the anchor down, which is my scepter, my selfie stick. I'm going to throw the anchor down. And that is going to keep me in one realm. Okay? I picture myself now with a ball and chain tied to my foot. And I'm moving, not a ball and chain, pivoting. If you were playing basketball with a ball and chain around your ankle, but you can't move your foot, so you're pivoting. You move it around in circles, but that one foot stays put. That's what the anchor's doing for my thoughts. It's keeping me in a specific area. Being in that specific area of being a billionaire. Voice of thoughts become things. It's all one title, by the way. The voice. Anyway, we could tweak that. It's a shame that's the first time I thought about it. I should have been watering that seed for a while now. But anyway, selfie stick, anchor, keeps me close to those thoughts. Keeps me hanging on to those thoughts. The anchor comes with a clicker. That clicker comes with a number, and when I read that number, I envision it with the word views after it, because that's my next goal. Remember, we've been talking about that. Don't worry, I'm not going to let you forget. Now, I must admit, today wasn't the best day for all that. I did a lot of running around, and I got a new hobby that I'm really into that took up a lot of my day, so to speak. But my number is 22. Oh, I was up, what was it, 767 last night. Bananas. And I earned every single one of those. Not saying that sometimes I don't, because I make sure that if I find myself taking one click off and just, like, for instance, I'll have 22 views, 23 views, 24 views, 25 views, 26 views. I clicked it every time, and I saw 2, 3 in the word views in the blue Facebook lettering, 2, 4 in the word views in the blue Facebook lettering, 2, 5 in the word views in the back of my mind, because I was looking ahead trying to figure out what that was in front of me moving. A little lump down there. I didn't see the 2.5, but I proceeded to 2.6 in views, and I saw that one. So when I feel I did something like that, I make sure I go back. And that's a level of integrity right there that I obsess over, because you can't lie to yourself. But a lot of people keep trying. Most people keep trying. Let me tell you something, people. If there's one person in the world that you don't want to lie to, it is you. I was going to say not God, but that is God. So it is you. You know the truth. And not only do you know the truth, that is the least of your worries, because you're never going to confront you on it. Maybe after this life, I don't know what happens after that, but that's the least of your worries right now. You ought to be worried about what that thing is, that little knot. It's a little knot in your throat that goes up when you're excited and turns blue and drops down. When you get that bad news, or when you think something bad, or when you get pissed off and it kind of turns hot and goes down towards the middle of your chest. That's what you need to worry about. That feeling comes like a freight train. And it brings all kind of self-hate. All kind of why I should have been doing it. It should be like that. It should. I deserve. All that comes with that feeling. Tell yourself right now. Okay, I'll use everybody for this one. Tell yourself right now, I'm sitting on Mars. Something dropped. Something dropped and said, you did a damn lie. That's the ego. That's why you can't envision yourself on the Bahamas for more than 2 seconds without it coming in and sucker punching you. And that's what we're trying to trick. Not trick, but trick. Not trick, but trick. I had to say it again because it's exactly what we're doing with the numbers. My numbers are 27 views. I know people hear 27. Oh, what the hell? That ain't even a big number. Listen, man, calm down. That's the shit got you at 0 right now. And I ain't talking about views. I'm talking about in life and other subjects, and you know what I'm talking about. The clicker's on 22. I'm going to take advantage and use it. I've had videos that didn't have 22 people on it. I got videos right now that don't got 22 people on it. And so because it's a low number, you think it shouldn't be in the ready to acknowledge category? That's the problem with society now. That's the problem with me now. There was a point where if I wasn't getting at least 80 people on every video, I was mad as hell. That's why I said on my Facebook page, it says it right on the cover of Nehemiah Davila's fan page. Don't click like, please. I did the numbers game before. It killed me. I'd rather not be part of that. I'd rather not be part of that system. Since 2008, I've been inching myself towards one thing, and that's doing exactly what I'm doing now. Talking to you while my family is sleeping and giving you the inside of my mind. I don't know why I'm doing this. When I was a cop, I asked God, I said, let me retire. Let me sit at home and study the human brain. It fascinates me. I've always been fascinated. That's why science was supposed to be my favorite subject, but we didn't even touch on the brain. Medulla oblongata. That's as much as we touched on it. Let me sit at home, study the human brain. Worry-free. No bills. No times. Back then, time was a big thing. There was no being late. I was on the SWAT team. There's no being late. You don't show up late to work. You don't show up late to nothing. And I'm a stricter for the rules. I always get there early. At least 15 minutes. Yeah, I wanted out of time. I wanted out of all that. I remember it was my first real conversation. I call it my first real conversation with God because I felt something watching me, but no one was there. And I had felt it before. One time I farted in a room by myself and no one was there. I felt it watching me. I stubbed my toe once and laughed. I felt so silly. And I felt it watching me. Those are the only 3 times I could really remember feeling that feeling because it's scary and you kind of leave it alone. Like, yo, is that a spirit? Is that a ghost? If you're big on religion, it's the Holy Ghost. That was the first time I realized that's God, because what made me think that's God is, well, I was thinking. I said, for some reason, I know it can hear my thoughts right now. It can hear everything I'm thinking. And for some reason, I know 100% that it knows what I've done. Not just what I've done, what I've thought all these years. Sounds a lot like God to me. You know what I mean? Sounds an awful lot like God to me. So, that was my first conversation. I said, all right, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? If this is God, then let's talk. And I began to have my conversation. And I immediately started asking for stuff. And since thoughts become things, well, I just saw another shooting star. Yes. Since thoughts become things, said, damn, I can't believe I saw another shooting star. That's 2 tonight. I love that. I love that. Trust me, I'm always looking up. But anyway, I asked for it. Let me sit at home. No bills, worry-free, all that other stuff. Study the human brain. And I bullshit you not. Just like that little voice that tell you turn right while you're driving, or gives you a good idea, and you're like, that just came from nowhere. That little voice said to me, okay. But whatever I give you, whatever I tell you, both words at the same time, because they came to me as an emotion. God speaks emotion, not English. Emotion. What I give you, / what I tell you, you have to share it with the world. That was all I heard. Those are the realest, only words I've heard from God. And it's so funny that they come with a double, like 2 sentences overlying on top of each other. Whatever I give you, because I remember feeling a gift. Whatever I tell you, because it was coming to me in the form of words, and I knew what he was going to say next. You have to share it with the world. Who wouldn't want to do that? I want to scream it from the mountaintops. A lot of people are scared. It's a direct attack on a lot of things would change in this world. A lot of people would lose billions of dollars if we all, got closer together and stopped needing medical as much because we're healing ourselves and, being positive, jails shutting down, like a lot of money would get lost. The people who rule the world don't want this out. I'm just going to say it like that. I've lost not some of my investors, all of my investors, except, I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not just one source. But I'm just going to leave that group at that. They get respect. That's right. Change everything. This could change everything. I hate saying could. I have to say could. My drive. Back to that. My drive needs me to say could. Because if I say I made it, then drive gets turned off. Not completely, just for that subject. I mean, I still have drive to get it in with my new hobby tonight. But my drive needs me to say that. For it to live. For it to have the fuel. Because let's face it, drive is lack of, by definition. It could be lack of arriving on time. It could be lack of anything. But drive is definitely a progress blocker. And just like the offensive line for the New England Patriots, sometimes stuff gets through. But it slowed it down just enough to not fully hurt the quarterback. Boom. That's what it is. And you know what? I hope you didn't come into this thinking I was going to have a solution for you, because there is no solution. What pushes me to go, pardon my French, I go hard when I emphasize things. I fucking love it. That shit wakes me up in the morning. That wakes me up in the morning. And my kids are the first thing I see. That's what I'm talking about. My kids are the first thing I see. In the darkness. That is God. That is the quantum film. That is the quantum realm. That is the realm of non-existence, from which all things are born from and die to. That blackness, that darkness. Well, that's what we all see before we go to sleep. Well, I guess if people sleep with their eyes open. I actually have a cousin that does that. Shout out, Lena. It's pretty creepy, but we love you. It's necessary. it's a necessary evil. I was going to say like the ego, but the ego, the only reason why, listen, I try to think of things as God because I want to learn more about God. I want to learn more about myself as well. And at the same time, as separate beings and as the same beings, all that good stuff in between, whatever I just said. But people say you can never fathom God. You can't know anything about God. Yes, you can. There's a lot to know about God right off the rip by looking at our life. What are the rules we're playing by? Now, God could have gotten a piece of God paper from his God conference room that said, put gravity on Earth 1. No gravity on Earth 2. That just tells me that either that was his rule or that it came from someone else. Now, if it was his rule, a lot of these rules are some asshole rules. Look but don't touch, touch but don't taste, taste but don't eat. Everything good is bad for us. Everything tastes bad is good for us. Temptation, can you stay positive in the face of negative? Duality, all of these rules are some asshole rules. It put a lot of us through some pain because thoughts become things, and a lot of us didn't know about that most of our lives, so we've been watering some seeds and living through some things thinking it's random. So yes, the rules this go around, whatever Earth 974's rules are, whether they got wings or tails or 7-inch fingers instead of 3 or 4-inch fingers, whatever the situation is, I don't know. But the one set out for this one, them some asshole rules. And whether God got the piece of paper and followed directions, which I don't think he did, because he wouldn't be God. That higher up that gave him the paper would be God, the source of creation. So it kind of doesn't make sense. It has to be God's plan. Guess what? It's an asshole plan. It is. I mean, come on, Hitler. Like, what the hell? The old ancient Indian Aztecs, they used to slaughter like 1,000 people, you know. They used to just kill people for like the whole day so that crops would come. Y'all didn't figure that the rain was, y'all didn't even try that shit? You just gonna start cutting people? I don't even understand that. But hey, it is what it is. This is the system we live in. Try to learn about it so you can adjust. Don't learn about it so you can talk shit. I said it before and I say it again. That's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Unsuccessful people tend to worry about things they have no control over. Successful people are the opposite. Tend to. That doesn't mean successful people don't worry about it. You know what I mean? There's always exceptions. Don't, you know, the word tend to needs to be taken serious if I say it. Now, the over-under is overwhelming. But, you know. I think that's the North Star. It looks beautiful. If you ever look closely at a star, it flickers. I didn't notice that until a few years ago. I do a lot of stargazing. I had someone tell me if you look up in the sky, you'll see a shooting star every 10 seconds or so. And I said, bullshit. Let's go. Nothing. I love it. Love me some shooting stars. Not too many, though. But yeah, not everything. When we do these night sesh, my shows are my shows. Neo Positivity Show, Thoughts Become Things, Thoughts Become Things International, Off the Bench, Retraining Your Average Thoughts, Men Are From Mars. All these shows that I've done were, you know, shows geared towards a specific point. Night sesh, the point is to give you what's coming to me. That's the point. To tap into the source of creation and give you what's coming to me on the spot. No writing it down, no saving it, no rehearsing it. Off the dome. And when I've done that and been able to produce, like I did tonight, give you a bunch of stories, scenarios, tying things in, I feel good. I feel great. I feel great. That's what I've been wanting to do. That's all I wanted to do. No pressure, no numbers, no facts, no figures. Just here. The money, direct deposit, I don't even want to see it. If I see it, I'm going to spend it. Just let me be here. Drive is keeping me from being here. Why can't I just be me? Why I gotta be pushing for something all day long? Oh, because hard work pays off. It really does. And everyone who made it, that's all they talk about is how much hard work they had to put into it. And I've made it, and I've put a lot of hard work into what I've done. I ain't make it, but in the physical world, in the mental world, I earned it. I made it. I'm just waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. But that drive is keeping me from just being me. A dude who loves to play video games and chill with his family and speak. Great at manifesting things into my life. Manipulating literally magic. Creating. Oh, God, your thoughts become things is crazy. And I'm fucking great at it. I'm a G at that shit. That's why I feel as if I can teach others. Why can't I just be that? Why can't that be good enough for this moment? I'm not going to say look around me. Just look around you to me. Because for me to do that, I'm surrounded with proof. I literally surround myself with it on purpose. My office is a damn showcase. A Gucci showcase. Not for nobody else. Don't nobody even go in there. It's also, I can remind myself that I have been able to manipulate the flow of energy around me. Literally in a magical way. It's not flashy, flamboyant, da-da-da-da. When I'm wearing it and I'm out, that is. But then being on display like that is a mental exercise. You see it in the background of my shows. On Facebook, it is a mental exercise. Nobody even goes in that room except me. I mean, my kids pop in there to say hi when they get home from school or whatever, but nobody goes in there except me. So it's not like a big show. I have house guests. You don't need to go in there. You don't need to see what's in there. You good? I don't even give y'all a tour of the whole room. Y'all just see what's in that mirror right there because I don't want to move the rears every time I do a show. Some big behind mirrors. But yeah, that's what made me come out here. That's what sparked all this. Me saying, why I gotta be like that? Why I always gotta, you know what I mean? Why can't it just, God, why isn't this good enough? Why can't it just be me for a second and enjoy that? Why do I gotta be me that's pushing? Pushing means chasing. Anything you chase will run from you. Drive means you're driving towards something. That's why they call it drive. You're driving towards something, you're chasing it. And anything you chase will run from you. Believe that. Believe that. So be careful with drive. I did this whole video just to show you to be careful with it. It's not something you say. If it's something you say, I tell you to stop saying it. Give you some mental exercises, ways to change your average thoughts so that you don't say it anymore. Bada boom, bada bing, we're done. No, drive is something different. It's deeply rooted. It's a part of everything we do and have done and are going to do. So it's one of those subconscious, just floats out there real quick without anyone even noticing anyway type things. That's what makes it so dangerous. So use it for your advantage, but when you find that it's hurting more than it's helping, and you know how you feel it in your chest, that knot that goes up and turns blue or down and turns red, you feel it in your chest. If you're unsure, when in doubt, bang out. That's what we used to say in the police department. Oh, should I take off for work? When in doubt, just bang out. Call out sick. We had 17 sick days a year. When in doubt, just bang out. I'm good. If it doesn't feel great, don't use it. Notice I didn't say good. If it feels good, that means you need to change the wording up on your affirmation or whatever you're saying. Change it up. Is, am, was, are, change all the stuff up to make it perfect for you. You'll be able to win that moment. But remember, you're just winning that moment. There are 60,000 other moments happening today. And those 60,000 are being used with the 60,000 that you around, average of 60,000 that you've been having over the past couple weeks. You don't even know what you've been thinking about for the past couple weeks. The big stuff, yeah, but the in-betweens, it was all on your mood, your mojo, what was going on in your mind. You gotta win one moment at a time. There isn't a people kill me. Take it one day at a time. You know what can happen in a day? So much stuff can happen in a day, especially if you're counseling someone in a stressful situation. So much shit can happen. It's one moment at a time. And it could get annoying. It's probably going to get annoying, but it is one moment at a time. And that annoying will go away if you make it go away. If you change your average thoughts, that's why I freaking titled the show that. It'll slowly go away as your average thoughts start to change from negative to more positive, or from positive to more positive. It's always better. But knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Y'all remember that? And that's what these videos are going to be about. Just to let you know, to shine some light on a situation that's happening that we don't even know about. Like if you was driving your car and the mechanic said, ho, ho, ho. That ain't supposed to be making that sound. You're like, I didn't even notice. Now he's going to charge you out the wazoo and fix something that you didn't even know was broken. But that's humans. That's flawed. That's greed. This system is perfect. Created by God. I love it, man. I love it. Neo-positivity is a shit. Every corner is covered. There are no questions. No need for blind faith other than to know that being positive is better than being negative. That's the only blind faith you'll ever need. And I'll be able to answer almost every single question you have. Unless it pertains to like multiple people. I already told you. It's so hard trying to dissect 60,000 thoughts a day, every day for, 10,000 plus days, 20,000 for some people. That's a lot of math, and I'll do that because it all adds up, so I don't have to do very much math. And quantum physics kind of clears up the rest. They already did the work for me. But add in another person, and you're doubling that. But adding in one person, you have to add in everyone else. Because everyone's contributing to this pot of energy. And I just can't do that math. That's one of those unfathomable things. Like being one with God while being separate. I can't, not that I can't. I'm pretty sure I can't. But I'm not going to say I can't. I'm going to say I don't think that's me. Baseball's not for me. Golf is not for me. Basketball's fun, but I don't think it's really for me. Put that in that category. Boom, put them together. Lock them up. Throw them in the ocean. I'm good anyway. That's how you gotta be with stuff. Let it go, people. Let it go. Okay? Let go. Give in. And enjoy the journey. Alright? I took that from the movie G. I didn't take it. I am saying whatever from the movie G. Let go of everything that's happening. Give in to everything that's happening. And enjoy the journey. I know if it's not pleasurable, find the silver lining. Is it a chance that you just being a little punk? No, it's not. Okay, well then just find the silver lining and hold on to it. If you're at the end of the rope, hold on to it or die. You're not going to die. Find a silver lining and hold on to it. Or keep doing what you've been doing, going through that. Really, I'm good over here. I've made my choice. And it's not, the choice isn't something you make like getting a black belt. It's a choice that you make every moment, 60,000 times a day. What is your average? Show me your average thoughts. I'll show you tomorrow. Think about that. Keep all that in mind. I'm about to wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being here with me on this journey of just freestyling and giving you my heart and giving you my soul and what's coming to me. I really do love you guys. I love God, technology for making this possible, my phone for work, and even though it's on 13%, I'm going to holler at y'all. And, this has been another one. I'll see y'all at lunchtime tomorrow. Peace.